Hi class, today in math we are going to begin working on multiplication word problems. We will spend 2 days on this. So I want you to go ahead and follow along on this video and watch how I break down each word problem and how I solve it. And then you will have some word problems to try yourself. Okay. Remember, we are going to use all the multiplication strategies we have learned thus far. We are not using a times table or a calculator or your flashcards that have the answers on them. Okay. We need to use what we have learned. All right. So let's read our first problem. John has 7 $5 bills. He wants to buy a baseball bat that costs $38. We have 2 questions to answer. How much money does he have? And does he have enough money to buy the baseball bat? So first of all, we need to find out how much money he has. I know that he has 7 $5 bills. So that would be 7 times 5, right? To find the total. Because I have 7 bills and they're each worth $5. Now, 5 is an easy skip counting number, so that's a skill that we can use. So I can put up 7 fingers, and I can say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I know that he has $35. Okay? So my answer to A is $35. Now, question B asks me, does he have enough money to buy the baseball bat? Well, how much is the baseball bat? $38. Well, $35 is less than $38. So he does not have enough money to buy the baseball bat. So my answer to that is no. Okay, next problem. Heather, Sarah, Nikki, and Jill each, there's a multiplication clue word, have 9 markers. How many markers do they have in all? Okay, so how many people are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people, right? So there's 4 groups or 4 people. They each have 9 markers. Okay, there are 2 ways that well, there's actually a lot of ways that we could do this. So we could either use distributive property and figure out 2 times 9 and double it. Or you can use your 9 trick. Let me see if I can get both my hands under here. So, remember with your 9 trick, your palms are facing you. Your fingers are numbered from 1 to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And if it's 9 times 4, then you're going to count to the 4th finger and put that down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put this finger down. Now, you're going to look and see how many fingers are on this side of the finger you put down. That's 3. Okay, so that's your 10 spot. You have 3 10s. 3. Then you're going to look at how many fingers are on this side of the finger you put down. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's your 1s. 3, 6, 36. So 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, you also could have done 2 times 9 plus 2 times 9, which would have been 18 plus 18. There's lots of different strategies you could have used. You could have drawn equal groups. You could have drawn an array. But since we just learned our 9 trick, I figure why not let's try that. Now our question is asking us how many markers do they have in all? Well, they have 36 markers in all. All right, there are 8 cars in the garage. Tom will place new tires on each car. How many tires will Tom need? Well, all I know is that there's 8 cars. How do I know what my second factor is? Well, if you look at what we're talking about cars. How many tires are on each car? How many tires go in a car? 4. So if I have 8 cars, they each have 4 tires. And we need to know how many tires will he need. Well, I need to figure out 8 times 4. Okay. Let's use distributed property. You could draw equal groups. You could draw a picture of the car. You could draw an array. You could do all of those things, but those might take a little more time. I could also just use my distributed property, because if I half the 4 into 2's, I know my 2's. Those are memorized. So then I would say it's 8 times 2 plus 8 times 2. And since we've already memorized our 2's, we know that's 16 plus 16, right? So I'm going to go over here and do it vertically. 12 and 3. So I know that 8 times 4 is 32. Okay? There's many different ways that you could have solved for this, but the answer should always be the same. So how many tires will Tom need? He will need 32 tires. Peter goes fishing with Patrick. Peter catches 3 small fish, and that's a plus word, 3 big fish. Patrick catches 4 times, there's a clue word for multiplication, 4 times as many fish as Peter. How many fish did Patrick catch? Okay, well, Patrick caught 4 times as many fish as Peter. How many fish did Peter catch? Well, he caught 3 small fish, and your clue word tells you to add 3 big fish. It doesn't say 4 times as many small fish as Peter or 4 times as many big fish as Peter. It just says 4 times as many fish as Peter. So let's add up his small fish and his big fish. We get 6. So we know that Peter caught 6 fish total. Okay, Patrick catches 4 times as many fish as Peter. Okay, so 4 times as many as Peter caught. 4 times 6. All right. Just to mix it up a little bit, I could very quickly do distributed property because we've memorized our 2's and 3's. But just to mix it up, let's draw an array. So I have an example for everybody. 4 times 6 is going to be 4 rows of 6. So if you have your whiteboard or a piece of paper, you can draw this with me. And I always label my arrays 4 rows of 6. Okay? So now I could count these all up, or I could skip count by row, however I wanted to do it. So if I counted them up, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I know 4 times 6 is 24. How many fish did Patrick catch? 24 fish. Notice I'm always going back and rereading the question part to make sure that I'm answering what I'm supposed to be answering. Catherine goes out to lunch with Mia and Fran. Each, there's your multiplication clue word, girl orders the $7 lunch special. Catherine agrees to pay the bill. How much will she have to pay? Well, how many people are eating lunch? Catherine, Mia, Fran. So 3 people are eating lunch. How much are each of their lunches? $7. 3 times 7. Now we've already memorized our 3's, so I'm going to give you a second to think about it. What is 3 times 7? 21. Because one of these is a dollar amount, then we need to have our dollar sign. 21. And our question says, how much will she have to pay? Okay, we wouldn't say 21 much, would we? Or 21 pay. That doesn't make sense. $21. Okay? All right, let's try some more. Here we go. Paul was helping his mom wash clothes. They washed 8 loads with 7 towels in each load. How many towels did they wash total? All right, so I have 8 loads with 7 towels in each load. Okay? So let's say, for example, you're not sure how to pull out the numbers to write your multiplication sentence. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use drawing a picture to help you. So if you have laundry baskets, we could draw 8 laundry baskets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 laundry baskets. Okay. And then I could either do pictures of 7 in each, or I could write the number 7 in each. Either way works. So I know each of these has 7 towels, correct? Okay. So I've got 8 groups with 7 towels in each. All right. Now I could add all these up together. I could skip count, but skip counting by 7 is kind of tricky, right? So why don't we do half of them and then double it? So I see that I have 8 and half of 8 is 4. So if I find the total of this half, couldn't I double it to find the total of all of these? I could. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. Good. Remember we talked about 3 times 7 is 21. And then 21 plus 7 is 28. So if these 4 total 28, then that means these 4 total 28. So I can take 28 plus 28 to get the total of all 8 baskets. Okay, so 3, 5. So the total of all 8 baskets is 56. And this is a strategy that's really good for these larger numbers you haven't memorized yet, and also when you're not quite sure what number sentence to write. So let's write our answer. How many towels did they wash total? 56 towels. And I need to circle it because there is no answer line, so I need to make sure that my answer is clearly found. Okay. At the fair, the Twirly Teacups ride can hold 2 people per. You might say, what does per mean? Per is another word for each, okay? So when you see the word per, it is also a multiplication clue word, okay? So the ride can hold 2 people per teacup. It'd be the same as if they said 2 people in each teacup, okay? If the ride has 5 teacups, how many total people can ride at a time? So let's do this again as if you didn't know what to write down. So let's say we draw the 5 teacups. And then we draw the 2 people in each teacup. They kind of look like pig noses. And because it's 2's, we could easily say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and have our total. Or what if you did know what to write and you said, well, I see 2 is here, I see my multiplication clue word, and then I see my other number. So I know I can have 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. Either one is going to give me the correct answer. Okay. So 5 groups of 2. We have our 2's memorized. We also know how to skip count by 5 and skip count by 2. So this one should be an easy find. 10. Go back to your question. How many total people? Should I say 10 total? I should not. 10 people. And there's no answer line, so I want to make sure I circle that. All right. Carol sent 9 text messages a day. How many texts would she have sent after 7 days? So, 7 days, right? And how many text messages each day? 9. Oh boy. Okay, so let's do one of our 9s tricks. Okay, I'm going to do the harder one first, then we'll do the easy one. So the harder one would be 7 turns into 70 and take away 7. Boom. Another way is your hands trick. So count till you get to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That finger stays down. How many fingers on the 10 side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many fingers? Oh, sorry, not 6, 7. Whoops. Count till you get to 7. We're multiplying by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This finger stays down. How many fingers on the 10 side over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my 10 spot is a 6. How many ones? 1, 2, 3. So 63. Okay. 63 what? How many texts? And we circle it. Okay. Lots of tricks we can use. All right, Larry's Lawn Care mows 8 lawns each week. Okay. How many lawns would they have mowed after 3 weeks? Notice a lot of these problems are writing your numbers out in words. This is why you don't want to just scan the problem for numbers, okay? You want to read it carefully. But anyways, back to this. So we have 8 lawns in a week. And we want to know how many after 3 weeks. Well, guess what? We've already memorized our 3. So I'm going to give you a moment to remember and think about what is 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Good. We go back to our question. It says how many lawns? 24 lawns. And we circle it. Just think about how easy this is going to be when you finish multiplying or memorizing all your multiplication facts. It's going to be so easy to solve these problems. We'll get there. All right, Rachel had to complete 7 pages of homework. Each page had 6 problems on it. How many problems did she have to complete in all? Okay. So she had 7 pages, 6 problems on each page, right? So that's like saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, draw it out if you're not sure. And there's 6 problems on each one, right? So I'm just going to write the number 6 to be quick. Okay. All right, so let's think about what do we know? All right, we could skip count by 6, which that's kind of hard. Yeah. We could do repeated addition. That might take some time. Yeah. We know our 2s and our 3s now. Okay, and we're learning our 4s this week. Do we know 3 times 6? We should. 3 times 6 is 18. Okay. And then here's another group of 3. 3 times 6. Oh, I didn't mean to go to there. There. Not that. Ignore that. 3 6s is 18. And then one more 6 is 6. So couldn't we say 18 plus 18 plus 6? Which would be 8 and 8 is 16 plus another 6, right? Which is how much? 8, 8, 16, another 6 is 2, because it would be 22. And then you have 2, 3, 4, 42. Now you might say this was a long, confusing process. That's totally fine. You don't have to do it that way. You could also say there's 7 times 6, right? And you could break that down because we know our threes, and you could say 7 times 3 plus 7 times 3. This is why we learned our distributive property, which is 21 plus 21. Those are a little easier to add up than these were, because 20 plus 20 is 40. 1 plus 1 is 2. Boom. So our answer is 42 what? How many problems? 42 problems, and you got to circle your answer so it doesn't get lost on the page. Okay? Notice that there's many different ways you can solve these problems. You have been given tons of tools in your toolbox, and I want you to use any tools that you can think of to solve your problems. Okay? Now, these are going to have a lot of ones that you already have memorized. So, I'm going to need your help. Here we go. A library checks out 7 books an hour. Okay? An hour means the same as saying like per hour or each hour. How many books would they have checked out after 3 hours? So that means we have 7 times 3, which we already memorized our 3s. So tell me what it is. I will wait. Good. 21. 7 times 3 is 21. How many books? 21 books. See how easy that is when you take the time to memorize your facts? Oh my goodness. Circle your answer. Let's roll. Carol bought 8 music albums online. If each album had 2 songs, how many songs did she buy total? Boom. Look, kids. 8 times 2. I'm telling you, the facts that you've already memorized, that's a strategy. You're done. You've memorized them. You know them. What's 8 times 2? Good. 16. How many songs? 16 songs. Look how easy that is when you have them memorized. Now, you should not be doing mental math if they're not facts that we have memorized yet. We've memorized our 2s, our 3s, and this week we're learning our 4s. You should not be using memorization to do facts we haven't done yet. Moving on. A large order of fries at the soda shop costs $2. How much money would you need if you wanted to buy 6 large fries? Who eats 6 large fries? I don't know, but this question makes me really want some French fries. So, I want 6 fries, and they each cost $2. There you go. I know my 2s. What's 6 times 2, children? Good. And if you forgot, you know anything by 2s is double, so 6 plus 6, 12. 12 what? Dollars. Although I don't think you need 6 large fries, even though French fries do sound really tasty right now. Oliver could fit 4 action figures on each shelf in his room. His room has 2 shelves. How many action figures total could his shelves hold? Well, he has 2 shelves and he can fit 4 on each, right? What's 2 times 4, kids? 8. 8 what? Action figures. Would it make sense for me to say 8 action? No. Action figures. Don't be lazy. And then, oh, look what we forgot. Circle the answer so people can find it. All right. Here we go. Last one. A bouquet has 4 roses in it. If a florist had 9 bouquets, how many roses did they have total? Ooh, we haven't memorized our 4s or 9s yet. We're learning our 4s, but they're not memorized. So we have 4 times 9, and we have a great 9s trick for this. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 36. 36 what? Roses. And lastly, we circle it. All right, I hope that you find these word problems to be more fun than what you thought. Have fun learning.